Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show.
It may well possess a rudimentary intelligence.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
Felt a great disturbance in the force.
Hello, I'm Mr. Red.
Come on, Mark, like a job for me.
Where's the goodies?
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
I bet you wouldn't have done anything like this if Mom and Dad were here.
You filthy criminal.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Here are your hosts, Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
This is Orson Welles, ladies and gentlemen, out of character, to assure you that the War of the Worlds has no further significance than as the holiday offering it was intended to be. The Mercury Theater's own radio version of dressing up in a sheet and jumping out of a bush and saying boo. So goodbye, everybody, and remember, please, for the next day or so, the terrible lesson you learned tonight. That grinning, glowing, globular invader of your living room is an inhabitant of the pumpkin patch, and if your doorbell rings and nobody's there, that was no Martian. It's Halloween.
How about that? Very good. This is Douglas Viviani on Everything Old is New Again, welcoming and ushering in Halloween with the rather horrifying David Cohen.
Yes, Douglas. Glad to be here.
Now, why would you be horrifying following up the War of the Worlds? Like, you remember last year we did a Halloween show. We spoke about War of the Worlds and where that came from, what that was all about. So we're picking up where we left off last year and with Halloween show on the tails of the most famous broadcast of all time, War of the Worlds with Orson Welles. You want to give us a brief background? Does everybody know what that is? Where are we?
It was a radio play that came off in the day, which was, I forget what year it was exactly, but most of the communication was done over the radio. There was no television, and when you put your radio on, you heard Orson Welles' theatrical production of a fictional tale of an invasion by aliens, and people started thinking it was real because it was presented as sort of like a newscast. Right. So if you're hearing it, you hear these reporters on the ground and what they're seeing, and you hear people screaming and dying, and people in real life started freaking out across the country because of this radio play.
And if you haven't heard the play, Halloween, of course, is the weekend to tune in. You can find it everywhere, YouTube, anywhere.
True.
Just give it a shot with your family, turn the lights down, and just listen to it. And it will put you back into I think it was 34 or 39. It will put you back into the 1930s, and you'll get a kick out of the idea that people thought this was real because it was done so well.
Right.
They interspersed in the beginning the original show, and it was a musical show, and they put the news reports in between. And
they were cutting in on a fictitious real show.
Exactly.
Yeah, with these news bulletins.
Right, so you didn't really know what was going on. And back in the day, you didn't get up to change the station of the radio. When you were on a certain station, that was basically it.
Right.
If you wanted, at the top of the hour, turn to the Green Hornet or something, you would turn stations. But other than that, you didn't shop around like we do now. It's a whole different world.
Yeah, you weren't getting, like, alerts on your phone, weren't quite up to that type of technology yet.
So based on that, we're now going to take Everything Old is New Again to the reality realm. And we are going to...
The reality realm?
Yes, we are going to trick or treat. Or should I say, we'll have people knocking on our door to trick or treat this evening, and we're
right here in the studio.
Right
people
here
coming
in the studio. Yes, a sign is on. Welcome for people to come in and trick or treat with us, and
we have treats, right?
That's the thing. What are we going to serve? I don't know. We could try. Some of these, I'm going to play a little clip here of a bunch of different kind of commercials for this short for chewy candies. I don't go for these myself. See if you like any of these or remember any of these. Listen to this.
It's no dark secret the whole family goes for Holloway's Milk Duds. Those bite-sized nuggets of delicious, chewy caramel, completely surrounded with a scrumptious chocolatey coating. Milk Duds are nutritious, too. They're rich with milk. Milk Duds are everyone's favorite.
Caramel, so delicious, that's why all we wish is boy, sugar babies, wow!
They're a happy handful of fun. Sugar babies, Vine Nabisco.
I am your Tootsie Inspector. I spot check Tootsie Rolls to see that each one has exactly 700 chews.
Once upon a time there was an engineer. Choo-choo Charlie was his name, we hear. He had an engine and he sure had fun. He used good and plenty candy to make his train run.
Charlie says, love my good and plenty. Charlie says,
candy that I love so well.
Now, if you remember those, you're an old timer like us. Remember that Good and Plenty commercial? That's in the 60s.
Oh, absolutely.
But you cannot get that jingle.
Charlie says.
I couldn't cut it off because it was just so all-encompassing.
And you'd shake the box to imitate the train. It was brilliant.
Exactly.
It was just brilliant.
So now let's pick Milk Duds Sugar Babies. I've not seen anywhere. Those were my favorite.
Well, you have to go into like a vintage candy store to see them. But you're right. They're not. They still make them. Yes.
Sugar Babies were cool. Chewy chocolate,
but really
caramel.
Sweet. They were very sweet. They were small, and they were. Yeah, it was almost more sugar than anything else.
Yes, and Tootsie Rolls are okay, but after a while they just stick to your teeth. I wasn't a fan of those.
But Milk Duds, still my favorite. Still my favorite. Today.
Really?
Yes.
Milk Duds sort of like a Sugar Baby, right? Or no?
Well, it's bigger, so you're getting more every time. You know,
Right.
Milk Dud is maybe 2 or 3 times the size of a Sugar Baby.
Okay.
And it's not as sweet. That's what I like about it.
Gotcha. And then Good and Plenty's got the licorice inside.
Oh, yeah. That was good, too. Remember Good and Fruity? They also came out with Good and Fruity.
But that was later on. That was the newest.
That was my nickname in high school, wasn't it?
Good and Fruity,
Good and Fruity.
Yes. Or Fruity and Good, I can't remember. So the question...
It's just Fruity.
Not good.
Not good, no.
Which of those 4? Let's pick one out. Which one are we serving?
I think I already showed my hand, yes.
All right, so let's try now some odd kind of candies. I'm going to call them the oddities. See if you like pick one of these.
When it comes to Cracker Jack, some kids never grow up.
Hey, what's happening?
The crackling's what's happening. Pop Rocks says bay to the bite. Pop Rocks.
Introducing Pop Rocks Cracklin' Candy. They'll burst all over your mouth in cherry, grape, and orange.
Pop Rocks.
Ay, 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 ay. I am the Frito Bandito. I like Fritos Crunchies. I love them, I do. I want Fritos Crunchies. I'll get them from you.
Hey, what's happening?
The crackling's what's happening. Pop Rocks says
Oh, we've done that already.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's right. We'll hear it again.
Introducing Pop Rocks Cracklin' Candy.
I remember...
Which one? Yeah. You remember
well,
the
first
Pop
of all, I
Rocks?
remember all of them.
Yes.
Cracker Jack's still popular today. Pop Rocks was big. I remember that.
Yeah,
remember the story about... You always heard about some kid like swallowing a whole box of Pop Rocks and died. His stomach exploded.
Big farce. Big farce.
Of
But
course.
we're running out of time. Which one of those Cracker Jacks, Pop Rocks, or Fritos would you want to serve?
I'll go for the Pop Rocks because I want to see someone's stomach explode.
All right, so we got to make sure our homeowners insurance is paid for before we open the door.
Could be a lot of cleanup.
All right, and finally, let's take a look at some chocolate. What are we going to give for the chocolate lover in you?
Guys and girls from Green Bay to Greenwich are going gaga about gobbling great-tasting Goobers.
I won't go without great-tasting Goobers to gobble.
Goobers are gorgeous golden peanuts in gobs and gobs of glorious Nestle milk chocolate.
The perfect taste treat of coconut and chocolate. Yours to enjoy in every luscious double bar. Peter Paul Chocolate Coconut Mounds. Indescribably delicious.
Hey, you got chocolate on my peanut butter.
You got peanut butter on my chocolate. Really good.
2 great tastes that taste great together. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
All right, that's Donnie Most and Bobby Benson. We've
Robbie
got
Benson,
little
wow.
time to no time. What do you want to do with that?
Wow, I think you got to go with the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, man. They're America's favorite.
All right, we'll be back. Neil's new again. There he is.
Choo-choo Charlie was his name we hear. He had an engine and he sure had fun. He's good and plenty candy to make his train run.
Charlie says, love my good and plenty. Charlie says, really rings the bell. Charlie says, love my good and plenty. Charlie says, really rings the bell. Charlie says, love my good and plenty. Don't know any other candy that I love well.
There we go. So we've got enough of that song. But those, I know that was like basically one long commercial we just did. But I wanted to just set the tone because I don't think many of those you see too much anymore. Goobers I see once in a while at a movie theater.
Mounds you do.
Mounds you see.
Reese's
Reese's Peanut Butter you see.
Yeah.
Pop Rocks you don't. Cracker Jacks are not that much around. Maybe at a bowl
Maybe
game.
the reason you don't see Goobers as much is because you can only get them from Green Bay to Greenwich, as the commercial said. So if you're not in that band of total goobers, you don't get it.
So you're out of you got to be in Gobsmack, Georgia to be able to get that. All right, so then you've got Gobsmack, Georgia.
Georgia.
Give it a shot. And I'm on to the Sugar Babies though. I've not seen them. I had one in like 30 years.
I'll get some for you.
Gotta see. I could taste them right now the chewiness though is enough at some point. Don't you think you just want to stop with?
I like the chewy though.
You do
like
it,
yeah.
chewy.
Yeah, the caramel. I like that.
All right, we'll be
but it's
back.
not for everyone. Yeah,
correct. We'll be back, and Everything Old is New Again. We're going to have some trick-or-treaters and enjoy Halloween fun on Everything Old is New Again.
Once upon a time there was an engineer. Choo-choo Charlie was his name we hear. He had an engine and he sure had fun. He's good and plenty candy to make his train run.
Charlie says, love my good and plenty. Charlie says, really rings the bell. Charlie says, love my good and plenty. Don't know any other candy that I love so well.
You're listening to Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Trick or treat. I got a popcorn ball. I got a fudge bar. I got a pack of gum. I got a rock.
Welcome back to Everything Old is New Again. You got to love that Charlie Brown with the rock, huh? That's what we'll be giving out. No, we decided we're going to be giving out some good goodies for Halloween. What did we decide again? Do you remember?
Well, we said definitely Milk Duds was one of them.
Right, and we're going to do Pop Rocks and some Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
So let's start the party up. Like the Monster Mash is a little bit of a, I don't know, we can have some fun with that playing in the background, and maybe we'll get a doorbell to ring. Who knows? Remember this song?
Of course.
All right, so that's cool. So
defines Halloween, right?
The lights on. You ever get this? You're waiting and waiting and waiting for someone to show up.
Right.
All right, so let's.
And then the music cuts out, and
oh, there we go. All
wait,
right, we got
here's
somebody.
Hold
all
on.
right, so get that door, pick that up, and let's see who that is. It looks like what is that guy? Like a mum? There's the mummy.
Someone dressed as a mummy. And there's come on in. And there's a floating bag not being held.
You just got the mummy? I mean, that's it? All right, so give him the candy.
That's weird. But what's the other floating bag next to him?
I have no idea. It's a little bizarre. You got a little trick going on there? That's the trick or treat, I guess.
I'm known as the Invisible Man.
Can't hear a word you're saying.
I'm known as the Invisible Man.
I still can't hear you.
I'm known as the Invisible Man.
All right, so Invisible Man. Interesting.
That's cool.
How did you become? It's a really good outfit. What'd you do?
Is this on?
No.
Is this one on?
No.
Is this microphone
This
right
is the
here?
microphone, yes.
I am the Invisible Man. This is my friend, the Mummy.
All right, well, it's nice to see you, Invisible Man. Come on in. Is there a reason why, or how did you become invisible? I don't know how you did that. This is a great outfit.
It's a phenomenal outfit, primarily because you can't see me. Because I am the Invisible Man. If I put a costume on, you would be able to see me.
Okay, but how did you become invisible? How did that happen?
If I told you that, I'd have to kill you.
All right, so tell me. All right, I'm kidding when I say it. All right, so what we'll do is let's answer. There's a knock on the door. There it is.
Are there more guests coming?
Yes, go inside, have yourself something to eat and drink, and it actually be pretty bizarre because when you eat, we're going to see all the food go into your intestines and all of that. So that's going to be a little bit.
I'm fasting,
disturbing.
actually, so
yes.
I won't partake. Can I bring my friend the Mummy?
And of course, yes, you can, because as far as I understand, you're not wearing any clothes either, so that's a little bizarre.
If I wore clothes again, same concept.
Right,
you'd be able to see me.
Please watch where you're walking and don't stand too close to me, please.
Of course.
All right.
Also, if I urinate.
Yeah, there's going to be
Believe it or
trouble.
not, you won't see it.
Oh, well, I'll see it coming. I'll see
No, you won't. It's invisible as well.
That's baloney.
Okay, cheerio. We're going to help ourselves now.
All right, so who's next?
Come on, Mummy.
I open that door. Who is that?
Who are these guys? Oh, wow. Hey, it's Frankenstein and Dracula, I guess, right?
I thought he was coming in third, but all right, let's. It looks like Frankenstein. It is Frankenstein. You're right.
They must have cut the line.
Okay.
Is that the Mummy? Or is that
That's why we separated them, but I guess someone didn't read the script, so, all right. Frankenstein's here again. And who's he with? He looks like he's with Dracula. Dracula, what's happening?
Am I close enough?
You don't get closer to the microphone.
Which one? This one?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is Dracula and my friend Frankenstein, he needs no introduction, but I will introduce him anyway.
What does he like? Does he want the sugar babies or does he want the Pop Rocks, that guy?
He prefers human flesh, but I think he'll go for the Milk Duds.
All right, so a Milk Dud for Frank.
Yes, he keeps his mouth occupied, as you could see.
All right, that's a good idea. How about you, Dracula?
Do you have any blood?
I have those little wax teeth with a little kind of sugary substance inside them. You could eat that.
No blood?
Well, it simulates blood. That's the best we can get.
Right.
All right, so there's somebody else at the door. Let this Dracula go. I'm really not interested in speaking with him. A little frightening.
I think they just went out to get some food.
Please. All right, what do we got here? Oh, this guy looks like he's... is that Al Capone?
Oh, it looks like Al Capone. He's short, chubby guy with a...
That's a good outfit. How about that? Al Capone, welcome to the party. I don't know if you're the Al Capone before or after Alcatraz, or...
Well, no, I am Al Capone. Which mic should I...
Use the microphone right here.
Okay, everyone seems to be confused with the microphones.
Oh, that's Al Capone?
I am Al Capone.
Wow, I thought...
I'm the real Al Capone.
I envisioned a little stronger... You must be the Al Capone after you went to Alcatraz.
No, I murdered many people. I headed up an entire mob.
And you spoke like this all the time?
Well, just because history presents it a certain way doesn't reflect reality.
All right, so I guess, I just figured you'd be like a rough and ready kind of a
I am rough and ready.
Oh,
what's your name, Doug?
Yes,
I am rough and ready.
I don't want to give you my name because I really don't want it to be followed.
No, I know who you are. Believe me.
Well, okay. Well, you can get the selection of whatever you want. In fact, you can have all of the various candies, one of each.
Great. Now, can I put the machine gun here? Will you watch it for me?
Yes.
Or do I need to carry it?
I just thought that was a violin in the case there. That's a machine gun, actually. Huh?
See, that's an old wives' tale.
Oh.
They're always machine guns. Always.
No one ever plays the violin, do they?
Not well. I do, but not on the job.
Okay. Well, all right. So, Al, thank you very much. Join the party. Frankenstein's here, and you know what? Dracula might get along with you pretty well.
That's true. I see a lot of other monsters, so I should fit right in.
You are.
Right.
You are. Oh, you're considering yourself a monster. Okay.
Of course. Of course.
Good to
I wouldn't be as threatening if I wasn't a monster.
You don't seem threatening, but the bulge in your pants is threatening to me in many different ways.
Oh, I just hope you guys have an editing machine.
Well, no, that's a gun, right? That's the gun you got there? Okay.
I'm not happy to see you. Bye.
All right, we got one more. Who is this?
Who is this now? Who is this, actually?
Hi, my name is Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, I should have gotten it from that, from the get-up, the costume. That's great.
Yeah, thank you. I did the Statue of David. I don't know if you're familiar.
It's funny because you sound like Al Capone would sound.
Al Capone would like the Statue of David. I know he'd like to steal the Statue of David.
I just didn't get that voice coming out of Leonardo da Vinci, but it's great to have you here.
I painted the Mona Lisa. I mean,
You did. It was a very famous painting. Why was she... Is she smiling? What's behind? What's the secret behind her?
You never see what she's sitting on. That's the problem. I put a tack on a chair there, and I told her, sit on that tack and try to, you do that as a kid, with the trick-or-treating.
Okay, I thought there was some real deep meaning behind it, but apparently not.
No, it was a trick-or-treat time of year, and I figured I'd give her a treat, and she was a little bit upset with me.
So, Leonardo, we have a selection of modern day, for you, modern day candy.
I'll be honest with you, it looks like a nice spread. It looks like the Last Supper here, to be honest with you. You get all the characters.
Another famous painting you're referring to. Very good. You always pitch your work. That's good. Good to do.
I just want to make sure people understand who I am. This is the idea. I am Leonardo da Vinci.
Right.
Now, my Italian accent, that's the only problem.
One of the questions I have for you is, it sounds like you're probably good at barbecuing things, or is that just a coincidence?
No,
anyway.
I grow pumpkins in my backyard is what I do.
So, all right, well, listen, help yourself. There's a whole spread out there. Different candy and sodas. And
it's not going to be my Last Supper, though, is it? Because I see Al Capone. I don't want to get too close to that guy.
I didn't know you were such a jokester.
All right, well.
really great stuff.
Trick or treat. You know what I'm saying? Trick or treat. There's got to be treats involved as well.
We also have some finger painting out there. Maybe you want to make a nice, fun little picture.
I can do it. What's this music? It keeps playing on, what do they call that, a loop? What's this music? Why? It stopped all of a sudden. Okay. The minute I mention it, it stops. Beautiful. Oh, here it is again.
Oh, it's coming back. There you go. All right, so listen. I don't know how good you are at taking hints, but it would be great if you went out there.
It's called a loop. I'm trying to learn. I'm a very inquisitive guy.
I think, are we at a guest, Doug, or is that the last one?
Is this music coming from a player, some kind of an electronic device?
Doug, he's totally taken over your microphone.
I would like to... Listen, Al, do me a favor. Get this guy
get this guy a drink, please. I don't need any drink. Have some wine.
Leo, come with me.
You got some wine?
Yeah, we have plenty. Come with me.
Don't call me Leo. You could call me Leonardo with an Italian accent because I don't have one. I don't know what happened to it.
Okay, Leonardo, come with me.
All right, let's go, Al. It's good to see you. Boy, we got some...
That's some party we have going there.
Ooh,
Are we still on the air? Did they pull the plug on us about 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, I don't know. We've lost about 4 stations just doing a little trick-or-treat. This is what happens when you trick-or-treat. You never know what's going to happen.
Listen, man, I'm not the one that said bulge in your pants. That's all.
I may have
it out there now.
I may have to edit that out. I'm not sure.
But, don't! It was funny.
As far as I'm concerned, the best Halloween music, by the way, to go out on is the movie Halloween, if you remember that. And when we get back, we're going to take a look at some of the best movie Halloween movie characters that there are, and just like see which one we would want to be if we could be a real Halloween character.
What do we do with these characters out in the lobby here?
I don't know.
I'm not letting them back in.
We'll be back right after this, and everything old is new again. One more. Who is this?
Who is this now? Who is this, actually?
Hi, my name is Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, I should have gotten it from that, from the get-up, the costume. That's great.
Yeah, thank you. I did the Statue of David. I don't know if you're familiar.
It's funny because you sound like Al Capone would sound.
Al Capone would like the Statue of David. I know he'd like to steal the Statue of David.
I just didn't get that voice coming out of Leonardo da Vinci, but it's great to have you here.
I painted the Mona Lisa. I mean,
You did. It was a very famous painting. Why was she... Is she smiling? What's behind? What's the secret behind
You
her?
never see what she's sitting on. That's the problem. I put a tack on a chair there, and I told her, sit on that tack and try to, you could do that as a kid, with the trick-or-treating.
Okay, I thought there was some real deep meaning behind it, but apparently not.
No, it was a trick-or-treat time of year, and I figured I'd give her a treat, and she was a little bit upset with me.
So, Leonardo, we have a selection of modern day, for you, modern day candy.
I'll be honest with you, it looks like a nice spread. It looks like the Last Supper here, to be honest with you.
Another famous painting you're referring to. Very good. You always pitch your work. That's good. Good to do.
I just want to make sure people know who I am. This is the idea. I am Leonardo da Vinci.
Right.
This is Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Count Dracula sleeps in this coffin, but rises every night at sunset. Dracula can change himself at will into a vampire bat, flying about the countryside.
Yes, master.
Welcome back to Everything Old is New Again with David Cohen and myself, Douglas Viviani. We're revisiting Halloween and, in a way, only Everything Old is New Again can do. And we're taking a look at let's look at some of the monsters, the Universal monsters, which were synonymous with
Universal
Halloween.
Studios monsters.
Yes,
Yeah,
for so long, and let's remember that Dracula, Frankenstein, Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll, and Mr. Hyde, they're all works of literature. If you really think about it, that was Abbott Costello using them as a joke in the late 40s in Frankenstein, or Abbott Costello Meet Frankenstein. But in the real vernacular and the terms of where these things came from, the literature, the best writers of the day were writing these characters. Bram Stoker, right? Stoker, Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, Invisible Man, H.G. Wells, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Robert Louis Stevenson, who did Treasure Island, right? So these were huge literary figures of the day. And I don't think everybody realizes that. Literary figures.
They wrote about literary figures.
There you go. It just doesn't make sense when you think about those Universal Studio monsters that are now coming back. And we've seen the generation and 2 or 3 generations of these, and they've been watered down, and they're not so much fun anymore. And we've making fun of them and all that. I want to take a look at some of the quotes, like from Dracula. Listen to this
from the book, from the works.
Book.
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing. Do you believe in destiny, that even the powers of time can be altered for a single purpose? That the luckiest man who walks on this earth is the one who finds true love? I mean, it's
an age-old question, Can you put it this way? Without love, is life worth living? And that's coming from Dracula himself.
Right. It's not one of those bam, boof, biff comic book things.
Right, like the Avengers, right? That we see today that are knocking on our door all the time. I think you have a couple of quotes, too, right? From, what do you have?
This is from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Invention, it must be humbly admitted, does not consist of creating out of void, but out of chaos. I think that's a pretty famous
very
quote.
Interesting. Let's hear a little bit of what they did in the movies with these two, just to catch us up a little bit here.
Listen to them, children of the night. What music they make.
It's alive. It's moving. It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. Oh, in the name of God. Now I know what it feels like to be God. Oh.
Daddy, won't you stay and play with me a little while?
I'm too busy, darling. You stay and play with the kitty, huh?
Bye, Daddy.
Goodbye. Be a good girl now.
Who are you? I'm Maria. Will you play with me? Would you like one of my flowers? You have those, and I'll have these. I can make a boat. See how mine float? No, you're hurting me! No!
Just a horrifying scene there of the little girl making friends with Frankenstein and being drowned for her efforts. And he didn't, I don't know what the word is, the irony of it, where he didn't really understand what he was doing. We thought that he would make her float like the flowers did, the beautiful flowers.
Is that what it... Oh.
Yes.
And wow, I never got that.
He had no intention of killing her. He wanted her to float just like these beautiful flowers. And that's where the oddity of Frankenstein is. He was actually a poet, so to speak, an intelligent person inside this Frankenstein monster in the actual work.
As well as a child killer.
There you
very,
go.
Complicated
or a very
person.
negligent babysitter at the very least. How about some another quote from Dracula, just to give you the literary feel. I last saw of Count Dracula when he was kissing my hand with a red light of triumph in his eyes and with a smile that Judas in hell might be proud of. I mean, think about that.
It's great how it just creates this image in your mind, right? Just by reading those words, you could see it. And right? And it's frightening.
And that's the real fear. Read these books for Halloween. Take a look at what we got going on here. There's some great quotes, great literature, great thoughts, great ideas, not just monsters.
I mean, just this isn't scary or anything, but just to give you an example of how descriptive and succinct writing can be. So this is from The Invisible Man. It's just a few words. It was a quote. The stranger swore briefly but vividly.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to quote the stranger, right? You don't have to hear what he said.
Right.
But you got it.
Your imagination,
right?
Exactly. Let's see how the movies handled The Invisible Man and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I wanted to do something tremendous. To achieve what men of science have dreamt of since the world began. To gain wealth and fame and honor. To write my name above the greatest scientists of all time. I shall offer my secret to the world with all its terrible power. The nations of the world will bid for it, thousands, millions. The nation that wins my secret can sweep the world with invisible armies.
I beg of you, Jekyll, tell them who you are. Tell them what you've done.
I've done nothing. I'm Dr. Jekyll. I'm Dr. Henry Jekyll. You're looking for a man named Hyde. I'm Dr. Henry Jekyll. I'm Dr. Jekyll. I tell you, I'm Dr. Jekyll. I'm Dr. Henry Jekyll.
Same lines over and over again, but that's Spencer Tracy actually transforming, I don't know if you hear it on the radio, but actually transforming into Mr. Hyde and not wanting to. And
right.
So think about the dichotomy of that, the character, where, he created this super being, he thought, and it becomes his nemesis. And certainly
Great
that
stuff.
was Spencer Tracy and Claude Rains again as the Invisible Man. These men were at the top of their acting game and lent themselves to these movies. So again, the literature is what carried the day to convince these people to do these movies, and they really tune them in. You're not going to be disappointed. Yes or no?
Yeah, totally agree. But I think your point about reading the books is just as important.
Absolutely, as opposed to like the heroes of today that we're seeing a lot of trick-or-treaters wearing, and not to put them down, but just compare the heroes and the monsters, if you will, of Halloween yesteryear and those of today.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Director Fury, the council has made a decision.
I recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
Shakespeare in the Park?
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
So there you go. There's the highbrow literature of today as presented by the Avengers.
Well, they're going for the humorous spin. You know, it's kind of witty, but right, it's not literature.
Exactly, and I'm not putting it down. Believe me, I love the Avengers, and it's great to see the kids dressed up as the Avengers and all of that. All I'm trying to say is that when Halloween comes around, you know, there's more to it than just watching the old black and white movies, which, by the way, still translate pretty well. They're not terrible. You can sit through them if it's a dark night and it's raining and whatever it might be, and you want to watch something for Halloween, but. Again, go to the literature. I think you will not be disappointed to read these works of art. Just like we'll not be disappointed when you listen to this song for one of our favorite TV shows. Here we go. We're back and everything old is new again. Continue our Halloween celebration. Talk about the best movies of all time. Halloween movies. All right, before we get to the Halloween movies in the next section, have you read any of these books? Any of the ones we just mentioned? Or
I am sad to say no.
Yeah,
No.
I read Frankenstein, and it was dark and brooding, a little laborious at times, but it was, what would you say, generational or generation-changing, thought-provoking. It was something brand new back in the day that everything since then, horror-wise, has been built upon. Not everything, but many, many stories have been built upon what went on in Frankenstein.
And it was required reading. My son had to read it.
Is that right?
Yeah, in his school. He had to
What do you
read-
think of
he
it?
had to
Do you
read
remember?
He liked it. Yeah, I think he said basically what you were saying. Sometimes it's a bit drawn out, but yeah, he thought it was great. I mean, he's glad he read it.
I'd like to read.
He was glad he read it.
There you go. I'd love to read the Avengers. I'm almost saying the Avengers. I have read all the Avengers. I'd love
Mary
to read
Shelley's The Avengers.
Now that would be a good combination. Go back in time and get her to write that. I would like to see what H.G. Wells actually did with Invisible Man. I know it was presented on the screen pretty well, his problems and the insanity that overcame him from that serum. But I would like to. I really think I'm going to go back and read that, because H.G. Wells is a tremendous
Great author, yeah,
and really put it together in a nice way, all of his work. So I missed out on that one. That one I'm going to give it a shot. So that'll be
sometimes if you listen to the book on tape, if you don't have time to read and it's read well, it's great.
Absolutely.
I read Animal Farm when I was a wee lad, but recently we took a long car ride and we got Animal Farm on tape, and it was phenomenal. It's just mesmerizing.
Yeah, the way, if they have the right person reading, it's over the top, tremendous. It's like basically a play. I mean,
Yep.
And it's or a radio play, and it's done with one person, which is pretty cool too. The one person does all the voices, if you want to say that.
Right.
They do a little accent or whatever it might be for
the way you would do the show without me. You don't really need me. If it's just one person, you could probably handle it.
And we'll go out on that thought. Everything old is new again. Be right back.
This is Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Starring Boris Karloff and Dracula, Frankenstein, the werewolf, the hunchback, the mummy, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and the Invisible Man. Also starring Phyllis Diller as the hostess with the least.
There we are. Phyllis Diller was one of the monsters back in the day. This is Everything Old is New again with David Cohen, Douglas Viviani, celebrating Halloween, and that's a old Rankin Bass production of Mad Monster Party, 1967. That was
that a cartoon?
It was like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's the same character, same people
like stop
created
motion.
That. Yes,
okay.
And it's worth a watch. You'll get a kick out of it if you have kids, and all the monsters are there. And in today's world, that's been translated. And boy, I wish I had this idea. I always thought of doing this. The Hotel Transylvania is basically Mad Monster Party all over again, with all the characters, all in one place, and they're all having their own little party. And now, when I understand, this year there's going to be a Hotel Transylvania 3. There was a 2, you know.
I didn't even know there was a 2.
There was a 2, so now there's going to be a Hotel
I barely heard of the original.
There you go. Well, that's where we're at on our Halloween show. We've got a bunch of guests here. I'm going to play. Who plays the organ? Is it which character plays the organ? I'm not sure. Might be the Invisible Man.
I think so. Yeah. I think you're right.
Sit him down at the organ here, and let's see what we can do with respect to party, not much Mad Monster Party, but other movies that set the tone for you in Halloween or on Halloween. What do you like with respect to movies, or any movies you need to watch to set the tone for Halloween for you?
Yeah, I mean, for Halloween, I always go back to childhood. So it's those older movies that get me into the spirit. It's not, no pun intended. Like, there are horror movies that have come out recently that scare the bejesus out of me, and I don't want to watch them because they're too scary.
So what would you suggest, though, if you would suggest...
Like for fun?
Yeah, fun Halloween movie.
I think like a Young Frankenstein would be a good one because it's a comedy.
Right.
I think some of the older ones like Abbott and Costello, Meet Frankenstein. So something a little more lighthearted.
Well, we've got a bunch of guests here. Can we ask some of those guests?
We do. They're still out in the lobby.
Yeah, open that door there. Right, find out what, I don't know. How about, who do you want to ask?
I want to ask Frankenstein. Well, I'll have to ask Dracula.
Right,
Dracula, ask Frankenstein what his favorite Halloween movie is. The Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes, I got that too. Dracula, is that what he said? Dracula.
I believe so. Yes.
Dracula, what are you drinking? What is that?
It's a blood martini.
Okay. I'm a little scared. I don't know where you got the blood from at this point.
I bring my own.
Where's Leo and Angelica?
It's in this flask.
You gotta get Leo and Angelica in here. I get you. All right. In the play or in the book, Dracula would get a lot of his blood from rats.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. Is there anyone else we want to ask, or we just want to shut the door?
How about ask Leonardo da Vinci what's his favorite?
Leonardo, favorite Halloween movie? What do you think?
Halloween. Tell you the truth, I'm a big fan of the Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin. I got to tell you. Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci loves the Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin.
And why is that?
It's just so irreverent. I love when he gets that rock.
Leonardo da Vinci loves irreverence.
Right. It's either that or The Exorcist, one or the other. Depends on my mood, you know? How about you?
Well, Doug already asked me. Why don't we get Al Capone in here? Ask him what he...
Yeah, Al, come on in. Let's, Al Capone, do me a favor. It might be contemporary to you or not, but I would like to know what Halloween movie you enjoy and sets the tone for Halloween for you, Al Capone.
Psycho!
I
pretty much predicted that one.
Yeah, that kind of works pretty good for me. I understand that one. Who else is back out there? We got,
let's see.
Invisible Man is still back there.
Oh, right. Let's come on in here.
Well,
we can't tell if he's in, but wait, I feel some presence moving me over.
All right. Okay, good. So, Invisible Man, what do you go for a movie for Halloween?
I'm partial to slasher type films, so I would say Nightmare on Elm Street. Perhaps my favorite, yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you would have gone for something more like Night of the Living Dead or something like that.
No. The blood, the violence is what I prefer.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We didn't ask Dracula. Thank you, Invisible Man.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
It's sort of hard to talk to him because he's not here, so you don't...
Yeah, it's like this disembodied
voice that introduces our show all the time. You don't know where it's coming from, but you realize there's a person behind the voice, right? How about Dracula? He's got to have some input on. Maybe he's a fan of Night of the Living Dead. I don't know.
Here it comes. Let's see.
Dracula, what do you like? Give me an idea of like a Halloween movie that you think would be fun to watch.
I prefer The Exorcist.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
I wonder why. Why is that? It's a little dark.
It's very dark, like I am very dark.
All right, so you like the blood guts.
The only thing I like is, my favorite part is when the head spins. Remember that? The head spins?
Yeah,
it gives me all different angles to go in and suck the blood out of the neck.
Gotcha. All right. So it's a tantalizing view that you have. With
yes.
Round and round.
I watch it on a loop repeatedly.
Who's on the... Oh, somebody's knocking on the Dave. Get the door. Right. Another trick-or-treater here. Who's that?
Oh, wow. Here's a new guest.
Oh, help me.
It's Pumpkinhead.
Please, let me in.
Pumpkinhead, come on in. Whoa. Okay, come on in. What's wrong?
Holy smokes. I hate this holiday. I cannot stand this holiday. I'm Jack Pumpkinhead from The Wizard of Oz.
Jack Pumpkinhead, yes. Why are you stressed out like this?
It's unbelievable. Everybody, I'm the present jack-o'-lantern. That's on everybody's front porch.
Oh, so there are kids chasing you.
They're chasing me because I'm a live pumpkin. I'm a miracle. You know I'm a miracle,
oh my
right?
God.
I'm a miracle.
Of course you're a miracle,
So
yes.
I'm a live pumpkin, and the pumpkin head walking around, and they want to pluck my pumpkin head. And it's not easy to say. They want to pluck my pumpkin head and put it next to their omnipresent jack-o'-lantern on their front porch.
That's it's horrifying, actually.
It's a lot to say, especially when it's not written down. It's a lot to say.
It's a lot to say, especially with someone with a speech impediment as yourself. But the prospect of seeing your head on someone's front porch could be quite horrifying.
In fact, if you go around Oz, there's a few of my old heads on the porch from a couple of days ago. Because, they only last 3 or 4 days, and I got to replace them.
So you're able to regenerate your head?
Well, holy smokes, we went through this show after show after show.
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
I have to grow the pumpkins in my farm. I'm a grubber. You call them farmers, I'm a grubber.
Are you from Boston, Pumpkin? On your farm?
My farm.
Oh, you grow them, and
then I put them on my head, of course. And I watch the seeds. When the seeds come out, that's my problem. That's when the brains come out. You know that. We've gone through all this already.
Okay, sorry.
As far as I'm concerned, it's Halloween. I love Halloween, but I hate Halloween. All they want to do is take my head.
Sure.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Halloween is a time for all people to enjoy, have fun together, but also there's a lot of opportunities in Hollywood. Someone's got to have a movie that needs a talking
You're
pumpkin.
still looking for work. You're still looking to be a Hollywood star. Even on this horrifying night for you, still, you can't get rid of this dream.
I have a dream. I can't get rid of it. Like that Bernie Brillstein back over at the...
Your agent?
The Agent of Oz. I mean, he hasn't...
the Agent of Oz!
Yeah, he hasn't done much for me, this Agent of Oz. And I really would like... it's Halloween. There's got to be something involving a talking Pumpkinhead that could be a nice.
I'm shocked they can't find something for you. I wish I could help you. I don't have those kinds of connections.
They got a young Frankenstein. Can't they do a young Pumpkinhead? How about that? A young Pumpkinhead. Wouldn't that be a nice little movie?
Sure.
Well, how about call them Mel Brooks? Well, you got some pull there, Cohen. What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah. Call them Mel Brooks or Carl Reiner. What are they doing? They're in the 90s. Can't they come up with something?
The only famous person I know is Doug Viviani, and I don't think he can help you.
Where is he? He was just snuck off to the bathroom. I don't know where he's
going. Out mingling with Dracula and Al Capone and those people.
You got some rogues gallery out there. What is this?
Impressive, huh?
I'm not very much impressed by him. Very much frightened, to be honest.
Here's what I would do if I were you. You saw the cast of characters out there, right?
Yes.
Now, they've all appeared in some famous movies. So perhaps if you go mingle with them, they can give you some tips on how they got started.
It's a very good idea. I brought my business cards with me, too. I got my business cards.
Business cards? You have headshots with you?
I got headshots with my business cards, and I got my cell phone with the clips, too. I don't forget that.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, I'm good
That's
with
right.
stuff.
And you're safe in here. The kids don't know you're in here, so no one's chasing you. This is perfect.
All right, I'm going to go back to circulation. Meantime, my point of view is that Young Frankenstein with Renfield is an interesting combination. That's what I would like to do. I'd like to see Young Frankenstein tonight. Is that okay?
Yeah, we're gonna show it later for our guests. So you're welcome to hang out.
All right, very good. Have a nice day. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Sky means business.
How about that? Pumpkinhead shows up wherever we go. He shows up, this kid.
Yeah, it's like a bad penny. He just keeps coming back.
I think it's funny. No matter what, he's being chased by the kids in the neighborhood for his head. They want to disembowel his head from his body.
I don't believe that. You think kids really want to chop it? I mean, I think they're just impressed by who he is. They just want to meet him, right?
Maybe. I mean, do you think it was an excuse for him to come on by and ask again to pitch for some work?
Probably.
You think it was just a goof?
I think it was all a goof, especially since he can regenerate his head. What does he care?
Yeah. Well, he grows it. He grows the head. He picks it and puts it on himself.
Yeah, he seemed to be very upset that I hadn't remembered that.
I don't know why he keeps saying regenerate.
He's such a memorable person.
And
he's so easy to understand.
Do you think people like Pumpkinhead or they don't like him? We got to get some feedback on
I
this
don't
guy.
like him. I don't know if that's apparent.
He's a bit of a scooch, right? Good old Pumpkinhead.
Description. Yeah.
All right, so we'll be back and everything old is new again next week. I think we'll probably do some best of shows or something down there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Some good stuff.
We've had so many best of moments. So we're going to play both of them next week.
Exactly. Pumpkinhead and we should put together Pumpkinhead and Fondue Man. That would be a fun.
Oh, wow. I'd like to hear
That'd be
that.
some combo. All right, we'll be back and everything old is new again next week. For everything old is new again, I'm saying everything old is new again.
And happy Halloween.
Enjoy. All right. Look at this. Eesh. Talk about the omnipresent jack-o'-lantern.
That was a scary movie.
Yeah, man. That's my movie, by the way, to pick.
Me too.
That would be it.
It was truly
frightening.
Frightening.
Enjoy.